Hey guys, my name is Sadie and welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad you're watching this video. It's really hot in Seattle right now, so I'm going to be looking extra glowy in this video, and please ignore any sweat drops you may see falling down my face. So a couple months into quarantine, I made a video about 10 things that I don't spend my money on anymore, or I never really spent my money on before. But today I'm here to bring you the opposite of that video and talk about some of the purchases I've made during quarantine that I feel like have made my quarantine life better. I also saw a very similar video recently on the Financial Diet, which is a personal finance YouTube channel that I'm a big fan of as well, so I'll leave a link to that video below too. Even though, yes, I do like spending money on things like skincare and makeup, I still always like to stay mindful when it comes to the purchases I'm making, and I like to reflect back on my purchases and think of if I really benefited from that purchase or if I really enjoyed it. And ever since this pandemic started, I feel like it's changed the way a lot of us have started living our lives, whether that be staying home more often or being able to do more things at home, or just looking at how you spend your time and trying to make the most out of it. So without further ado, here are 7 purchases that made my quarantine life better. Okay, so this first one is maybe not the most exciting, but is a very necessary thing for most of us these days, and that is my favorite face mask. When it comes to face masks, I tend to like disposable ones better than the reusable ones just because it's easier and you don't have to worry about washing them, and my favorite disposable mask has been this one right here, which is the KN94 mask. As opposed to the KN95 mask, this is an N94 mask, and I find that the shape of it just fits smaller faces a lot better. All of the N95 masks that I've ever worn have been too big, and also since I wear glasses, they always make my glasses fog up, but those are 2 issues that I never find I face with this mask. And when it comes to the importance of face masks, beyond being made out of the correct kinds of materials, it's also really important that it fits your face really well, and I just find that as someone with a smaller face, the N94 masks just end up fitting me a lot better and feel a lot more secure. Is this a very exciting favorite? No, but is it something I'm still reaching for every time I leave my house? Absolutely. Let me just model it for you a bit here. These ones specifically also have that nose wire, so you can adjust it down onto your nose. Exciting? No, but very practical and necessary? Absolutely. Okay, this next purchase I'm sure is one that I'm not alone in, and that is all of the houseplants that I now have. Up until really this year, I had a couple of houseplants that I had with me that I was taking care of to see if I could really have a green thumb and keep them alive, and I was mostly successful in that. So ever since quarantine started, and also since I moved into this new place, I felt really inspired to buy a lot more plants. Having plants in your space is great for so many reasons. It's great for the air and the oxygen in your living space. It's also great to just have something else to take care of other than yourself, and I just love the way that plants look in a space. I just think it brings so much life and a different kind of energy into your living spaces that I just really love. And I just love the routine of going around and watering all my plants and checking up on them to make sure they're okay and there are no bugs bothering them. In my video talking about things that I don't buy anymore, I mentioned in that video that I don't like buying plants from online retailers. 1, because they tend to be super expensive, and 2, plants don't really like going through all of that trauma of being shipped to you. So if online is the only way that you can find plants around you, then sure, go ahead, go for it. But I really recommend finding a nursery around you, an affordable nursery, because I know living someplace like Seattle, there are a lot of very fancy, very expensive plant shops around here. But I've found one that has very reasonably priced plants that are all really well taken care of. So I would say that's the best way to go when it comes to expanding your plant collection. I am in no ways, by no means, an expert when it comes to taking care of plants. I just try to do my best and really listen to the plant's needs. Some of my favorite houseplants that I've been really successful with, snake plants are super easy to take care of, and I feel like honestly the more I ignore my snake plants, the more that they grow. ZZ plants are also super easy to take care of and super low maintenance. And also, one of the very first plants I ever bought is still alive and she's thriving. And here she is. She actually sits right behind me in these videos, and you'll notice she's got one very long vine. And this one right here is a neon pothos. And this is another one that I find super easy and low maintenance to take care of. And those tend to be the plants I go for as someone who's less experienced. And I think everyone has the capability to be a wonderful plant parent. And especially during quarantine when a lot of us were stuck inside of our houses, it's just nice to have some greenery inside your space to bring that outside feel inside your house too, without having to leave. Okay, purchase number 3 is a broader category of things, but that is the technology that I have needed to successfully work from home. Some of those things have included a ring light to use while filming videos for school or while on video calls. Also having a microphone that I can plug into my computer to get better sound when I'm filming. Some of these purchases can be very simple and very affordable, but can really bump up that at-home production level if you, like me, are making videos from home, or make yourself look that much more professional and presentable in your online video calls. And of course, I have to mention my very cherished gift behind me from my parents, which is my desktop computer, which has been so integral to all of the videos that I've been making this year for school. All the stuff that I've been filming, it has been so much faster to edit it on this desktop. I've just really been able to avoid a lot of the headaches I would experience with my laptop, whether it be running out of room or things just processing and exporting super slowly. Whatever it is that you need to avoid those headaches that you may find from working at home when it comes to technology, I think it is so worth the investment to have those things and just make working from home that much easier. All right, number 4 is Imperfect Foods. This is not an advertisement or a sponsorship by Imperfect Foods, but Imperfect Foods is a food delivery service that I started using pretty soon into quarantine, and is one that has been around for a while actually. The original concept behind Imperfect Foods, or as it was previously called Imperfect Produce, was selling those less than perfect looking produce for less than what you would normally buy for them, say at a grocery store. But now the brand has really expanded beyond just produce and sells all kinds of foods that you may need, that you may find at the grocery store, whether it be rice or peanut butter or frozen chicken breast. During quarantine, Imperfect Foods was pretty much the only way that we were getting groceries. We would go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks, if that even. So we were really relying on these Imperfect Foods deliveries coming to our apartment. I'm not sure if Imperfect Foods delivers to every city in the United States, but I was lucky to find that they did deliver in my area. And Imperfect Foods just carries things that you may not traditionally find at grocery stores, so it was a really fun way for us to try new different foods, from these sausages that we liked that were chicken and vegetable based sausages that we really enjoyed, to vegan sausages that we really liked. Some of the stuff, especially when it came to like the frozen meats, could be more expensive than how you may find it in the grocery store, but we were really impressed how a lot of the things could be found at a discounted price, even if you don't have something like Imperfect Foods that delivers to your area. So many of the grocery stores nowadays do food delivery, so if you're still nervous about leaving your house and going into that crowded grocery store, grocery delivery is just amazing, and I hope it's a thing that never goes away. And yes, as important as it is to support our local restaurants around us and get takeout from them from time to time, it's still always way more financially smart to be cooking your meals at home. That's always something that's been a priority to me, whether it be quarantine or not. So yeah, if you aren't already cooking your meals at home, grocery delivery is something that will make that even easier of a transition for you. Next on my list that made my quarantine life exponentially better has been comfortable pants. I'm sure most, if not all of us, were only concerned pretty much how we looked like from the chest up when it came to working from home. Personally, I was someone who really struggled when it came to encouraging myself to really get to work at home. So whatever it is for me that would make it easier for me to be encouraged and motivated to do my work, comfy pants were definitely on that list. I want to mention 2 favorites right here. One of them is from a brand called Cotton, spelled K-O-T-N. They're a super lightweight material, but also still kept me warm enough during the winter. They have an elastic waistband as well as elastic at the ankles, but I never felt like those elastic bands were digging into my skin. And they have pockets as well, so that's really convenient. And I actually stumbled upon this brand Cotton when I was looking for more ethically sourced brands. They have a lot of things that are made out of their cotton that comes from a farm that the owners of the brand are very well connected with. And these other favorite pair of comfy pants come from Uniqlo. I've never owned anything from the brand Skims, but I know Skims has this cozy collection of pants that look similar to this, and tank tops and a robe that seems to be in a very similar looking material to this one from Uniqlo. As you can see in this picture, I'm wearing the full set of the sweater and the pants. They're a super warm, super plush and a fuzzy material. Not really fuzzy, I would say more plush. So soft. These don't have pockets, unfortunately, but I didn't find that too much of a downside. So if you were interested in trying that cozy collection from Skims, but you weren't willing to pay all of the money for it like I wasn't, then maybe you may like these from Uniqlo. Alright, next category of things is again more broad, and is something that I've talked about in one of my very first videos before too, but that is all of the workout equipment I have. I was lucky enough to have already had most of these things before quarantine started, because I know as soon as quarantine started, a lot of people were trying to build up their home gyms, and a lot of things like weights and barbells were sold out all over the place, so I was really happy to already have these at home. When it comes to working out from home, which is something that I, despite quarantine, always like doing, having something like a pair of adjustable dumbbells or even just a couple sets of dumbbells are really all you need to get a good workout from home, and to honestly and truly still be able to build muscle from home as well. If you're willing to sit through the cringe of one of my very early videos where I talk about in detail where I got all of my workout supplies from my barbell to my dumbbells, I'll leave that link to the video down below too, but mostly I bought them from Amazon or even Walmart. Walmart has shipping pretty much all across the country, and oftentimes I will find things being sold on Walmart for even cheaper than I can find them from Amazon. And even though I do like specifically weight training, it's not like you even need any equipment really to get a good workout from home. Even though yes, places like gyms are starting to open up again, I personally am still cautious of going into places like that, and I don't want to be working out with a mask on. I don't know what could sound more uncomfortable to me. Like I mentioned, you don't even need all of these weights to get a good workout from home. I also like working out with short glute bands or resistance bands and longer resistance bands as well. And to talk about the financial aspect of it, while yes, buying this equipment for your house is an investment up front, it will totally pay off in the long run, because paying for a gym membership can be pretty pricey. And I've also posted a lot of home workout videos too, so if you're interested, check them out. Alright, and my last purchase that made my quarantine life better is right here, and this is my bullet journal. So a bullet journal is basically a journal, but instead of having lines, they have lots of, oops, something just fell out. There's lots of dots all over the place, and in bullet journaling, you kind of use these dots as a template to draw out whatever kind of template you want to make. So that's what I've really enjoyed about bullet journaling, is just the freedom that you can have from it. Basically, bullet journaling is like a planner for most people. It's how they plan out their to-do list for today, or how they track things, whether it be working out or their spending. I've liked to track both of those things too. I've also liked to track my skincare and my food. Not all the time, but just from time to time. Bullet journaling can really be anything you want it to be. You can make your pages or your spreads as fancy as you want them to be, or as simple as you want them to be. And I feel like that's why I've never really completed something like a planner, is because you're really boxed into the format of it and the spacing of it, and I would always get stressed out that I would never have enough lines in my planners to plan out all my days. So having something like a bullet journal where it's just completely blank and it's up to you how you want to make it and how you want to track things, I've enjoyed this format so much better. Also, I'm not always the most consistent person when it comes to anything really. Also, when it comes to journaling or planning things out, I've been that way too. So it's nice to have something that's just blank that you can step away away from, and it won't be completely wasted like something like a planner. Bullet journaling has also been just a fun, creative outlet for me as well. Just flipping through some of my spreads here, you can tell that I like to make things pretty colorful and pretty cute and have a theme at times, and I like using stickers. So again, it can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be, and it's just another way of being mindful and being aware of how you're spending your time, and it's just a nice calming and grounding activity for me too. And of course, it's fun to collect all the stickers and the marker colors. Having something like a bullet journal is a great alternative to have, where you can still have those same kind of benefits from a planner but adjust it to however you need to use it. Alright, before I melt into a puddle, that completes my video of 7 smart purchases that I made that made my quarantine life better. I know that things are slowly transitioning back to normal for some of us, but some of us may still find ourselves working at home, so hopefully you may benefit from some of the things in this video. Even beyond working in your house, I feel like the pandemic caused a shift in a lot of us and to think about how we're spending our time, how we're spending our money. So I hope you found something helpful in this video today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a like or a comment down below if you feel so inclined. If you haven't already, hit subscribe to stick around. I would so appreciate if you did. And until the next video, I will see you all then. Bye!